Hey friends, today we're going to talk about becoming a landlord. If you're an aspiring investor, chances are you will find yourself in the shoes of a landlord at one point in time or another. So there's a lot of misconceptions and misinformation when it comes to landlords and tenants. So we're going to cover a few of the most common mistakes here. Number one, the Ontario law favors tenants over landlords heavily when it comes to disputes. So you want to make sure that when you're getting a tenant in, you're very thorough with your qualifications. You want to talk to their previous landlord to make sure they haven't caused any trouble. You want to make sure you call their job and confirm that they are employed there. You want to get their letter of employment, get their pay stubs for the last month or so. You want to check their credit history and make sure there's no delinquencies there, because if somebody has a history of late payments or not paying for bills, they're more likely to do the same thing in the future. You want to make sure you check them out on social media to see if there's any red flags and things like that. You can't really predict the character of the person when you're getting them in, so at least everything else that you can verify, you should verify, because once a person's in there, like I said, they have more rights to your own unit than you do. Number two, there are a lot of illegal deposits that a lot of landlords ask for, but that is not allowed. The only two deposits the landlord can ask for is the last month rent and the key deposit, and the key deposit has to be refundable. Fun fact, also, technically the landlords have to pay interest on the last month rent to the tenant and give that out once a year. Again, this is a practice that a lot of landlords don't have, and a lot of tenants don't know about this, so they don't ask. Next, pet provisions are void. You can't legally restrict somebody from having a pet unless it's a building that the unit is in that doesn't allow pets in the house or has certain restrictions. Okay, let's quickly talk about insurance. With the insurance, you want to make sure that the entire structure is protected. If anything ever goes wrong, landlord's insurance only covers the shell of the unit, meaning the structural defects or the structural damages. The contents insurance, in case there's a flood or a fire, that would be covered by the tenant's insurance. So all their belongings will be insured with their own provider. You want to make sure you ask your tenant for insurance proof. And finally, let's quickly touch on evictions. In Ontario, it is very difficult to evict a tenant. The only times that you can really evict a tenant is if they're doing something illegal, which takes a long time to actually evict them through because you have to go through a proper channel. If they are not paying rent, same thing here. It takes a while to go through the proper channels to evict them, so they may be still in your unit for another 4 to 6 months to even a year. And finally, if your family member is moving in, you're planning to move in, you will be able to evict that tenant, but you would have to pay them an equivalent of 1 month's rent for them to move out, or you can offer them a different unit of yours that they also have to accept. So I hope this information is helpful. I'll see you in the next video.